You might want to start with a date so that people know that I'm not cutting up any old audio of you. Floor's yours, sir.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, what is today? Hang on. This is the 15th, isn't it? Yeah, this is the 15th, Tuesday. I have a calendar full of prospective housing options. Things are moving very, very quickly now. Unfortunately, at the previous place that I was staying, a lot of my most precious stuff got walked off with, and the staff really wasn't terribly interested in hearing about it. But whatever. I'm at the point now that I am going to start needing help. And any contributions will be happily and gladly accepted. This would be basically towards getting me set up to transition to housing, to to begin moving forward on getting myself set up in that place so that I can start working on these various projects, including the mobility project, and finding myself some income. That would be really great. If anybody out there needs patent illustration, I can do that. Or CAD work.
Yeah, so the long story short, if I read it right, is you need money in the short term to be able to stay where you are while the housing is sorted out for a week or two, which is relatively modest. But when you're in...
that is part of it, and getting little things like a dish pan when I get there, and a dish rack, and a scrubby sponge, and some dish soap, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
In the meantime, basically this place will start charging me rent after a period of time. There is an option for me to mitigate that even completely. I have to show up for their classes a certain number of hours a day, or a certain number of hours a week, I guess, and that's not unreasonable, and it's something that I am completely prepared to do. But some of these appointments that I will be keeping for prospective housing are going to conflict with that. So I may come in under the wire. I don't know. I have to plan for that contingency.
And they're not willing to... How about if you provide some form of official letter for the appointment? Are they lenient on that, or is there no leeway?
Variably, but inconsistently.
Okay.
So I can't really count on it. I'm going to try to make it work that way.
Yeah.
But it may or may not necessarily. Now, this isn't like a dire emergency at this point. Basically, I'm just, if none of these housing options were to work out for some reason or the other, I would still be able to stay here for 30 days without having to pay rent. But I'm kind of hoping to be out of here before that.
Yeah.
It's looking like I have the high probability of being out of here before that. I can't know for sure until I make the appointments and see what happens. But I mean, I've got 3 appointments: Wednesday, Thursday, and then the next Monday. One of them is very likely to be a good option. Well, one of them is sort of the ideal option, but they're going to have to accept me. And I don't know, I mean, there are a lot of folks trying to get in there. So it's a question of whether or not I'm the one that they decide needs help.
So there's still a lot of ifs and buts and stuff like that.
There are a lot of unknowns going on here, big fuzzy spots that I can't really pin down too terribly well. So I'm having to plan around contingencies of things not working rather than trying to count on any specific thing working.
Gotcha. In your last video, you said a few things, and you said you were trying to psych yourself up for plastic teeth. Yay! What happened there?
I didn't hear you. The phone cut out, and there was some kind of chirpy noise.
In your last video, you said that you were psyching yourself up for plastic teeth. Yay!
Oh,
how did that go?
Well, that actually reminds me, I've got to make a phone call here after I'm done here to call over to the dental clinic. Apparently, I'd been approved for dentures, but I didn't get my appointment date noted down, and I need to do that.
Cool.
I also have an appointment coming up for psychiatric counseling, which I also need to pin the date down on. I don't think that she actually gave me a date, but it's getting on towards time that I knew when I was supposed to show up.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else you want to say to the people on the video before I stop it?
Yeah. I appreciate all of your support and all of your encouragement, and that has really helped keep me going through this. This has been something of an ordeal. It's wow. This is pretty much a life changer. Really a humbling experience. And I appreciate everybody that stood behind me and sent me words of encouragement and just, told me to keep going. Even folks that just said, just something's going to happen. You just have to be around for it to happen. That was valuable too. At the time, I'm not sure that I believed it, but it seems to be happening that way, and things are better now. I don't. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just kind of. Well, I'm tired. Oh Lord, I'm tired. But it's looking like it's looking like it's been worth it, and like it might actually result in me getting back up on my feet here real soon.
Cool. But you're still not going to be able to respond personally to any emails real quick, are you?
No, not real quick. The phone that I have ended up with is a 3G. I started out with the phone that you originally gave me. It was stolen.
Hmm.
And then I wound up barely being able to replace that. And then somebody not only stole that, but the day that the day that it was stolen, I was sort of on a mission. I was becoming very impatient with the way that things weren't happening at the last shelter. And I had determined to go make an opportunity for myself somehow. And I was, prepared to spend a little bit of money to do it. And so while I would have ordinarily had that money in my locker, it was on me. And they got my wallet, as well as my cell phone, and
meds,
my ID, and I basically had to start over from scratch again.
But at the end of it, you'd been, some of the advice has been not to get politically involved in those shelters, but you were there for like 4 months. You're at the stage where you had to do something.
I was there for 4 months, and they did nothing.
Yeah.
The only help that I have really had has been from the mental health folks, and my mental health case manager is moving mountains moving mountains in order to get me help.
So basically, once you get up and sorted and settled, there'll be quite a bit of story coming out of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I've pretty much come to the conclusion that the drop-in center, which has reincorporated recently, while I was there, reincorporated. It's now called. I have come to the conclusion that it is not indeed a shelter. It's a warehouse and an industry.
Yeah.
And the people there are essentially nothing more to them than commodities.
Right.
The people in that shelter basically make it possible for them to get money out of government programs and private charities. And that's the only purpose to having beds over there. They really don't help anybody move forward. They might as well put a revolving door on the front of the place, because you come in, you're told to wait patiently, nothing happens, they kick you out, and then they just have this constant influx of people that are coming back to have nothing happen for them. So most of the folks in there were in there for multiple times, to stay there for a while and then get kicked out.
All right. Well, we're approaching about 15 minutes now. We're coming up to that sort of time.
Alrighty.
So, I guess we'll put the PayPal link in the description of the video. Everyone's pretty much heard your thanks, and it'll take you a while before you're in a position to email thanks personally.
Yes, and I will have a load of that to do. There are a lot of folks out there that have really, they've been standing behind me, and they've been, following my account and everything, and after they screwed up the Wi-Fi over there, I didn't even get the chance to warn anybody, really, that I was going to disappear. It just sort of happened.
Well, you went off for so long, and I just heard nothing from you. It just caused so much concern at this end.
Well, I was concerned that y'all were going to get concerned, too.
Well, I think one of my big problems was that when I did get concerned, there was nobody to really act on anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and from my end, there really wasn't any amount of begging or pleading that I could do to fix anything over there to make it usable again.
Yeah. It was just one of those things, but yeah. Yeah, it was a hell of a lot of relief when you came back on the radar, I tell you.
Well, awesome. I'm glad to see that. Yeah, my cheerleading section is still out there rooting for me to come through this.
Yep.
And it really makes a difference. It really makes a difference to know that A, I'm not alone in this. That there are folks out there that do care, and just that much is a big emotional boost. It makes me look forward to all the hard work that I got ahead of me.
Well, cool. Shall I stop the video now?
I didn't hear you.
Shall I stop the video now? Yeah.
Oh, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I've pretty much said what I needed to say, and just hey, really thank you guys. Thank all of you. Y'all have been really, really super. And I hope to be back to putting videos up here pretty shortly. Don't know exactly when, but I will be back.
Cool. I'll hit the button.
There you go.
Cool.